Okay, here we have the final game in the AIEL versus Hannah Montana Unitards games. We're on Alpine Peaks with a 300 ton limit. We've got Theta right here in between these two mountains, and we'll have Armed starting up off in the distance over there, and we'll have AIEL down here in red. So while we're waiting for the game to get started, we'll just have a bit of a look at what we got for both teams. So for AIEL, they've got a King Crab, a Raven 3L, Direwolf, and a Hellbringer. Armed, we have a Stalker 4N, Battlemaster 1S, Jaeger, and Hellbringer. So that's definitely a long range build. For AIEL, we've got probably a bit of a mix. The Raven's definitely going to be running the ER large. If I can find where he's at. Here we go. Yep, 2 ER large, and he's going straight for cap. King Crabs, 4 AC5s, 3 medium lasers. Hellbringer, sorry, no, Direwolf, again, Ultra AC5 build, so they're going to have quite good mid-range firepower. But they're going to just have to work on closing to make sure they can use it. Hellbringer, 4 ER large, pretty standard. Now for Armed, we've got Stalker 4 ER large, Battlemaster 4 ER large, Jaeger Gauss and medium lasers, and Hellbringer with the 4 ER large, the same build as AIEL. Alright, so we'll just see where these teams are setting up. We've got the Raven looking to step onto Theta, but he's capped it yet, and he's bugging out. We've got the 2 heavies for Armed moving over to this hill here overlooking Theta, and the 2 assaults moving to the other hill. The rest of the team for AIEL, they're moving over towards the hill, looking at the moment like this Hellbringer, just trying to make sure he's covering his assaults as they move up. Probably looking to do a bit of a flank here, come right around the back and down towards Theta from the other side, perhaps trying to catch this exact positioning out. So Armed here at the moment at the disadvantage. They don't have the cap. They don't really know where the enemy team is. All they've seen is that Raven. So they're going to have to be quite quick in getting that cap back if they're going to have any chance of winning on cap. And they're also going to have to be very careful about getting flanked by this force over here. The one thing they do have working in their favour is both that King Crab and Direwolf are very slow. So they're going to have quite a bit of time to manoeuvre and get that cap back. At the moment they're just trading shots with that Raven, which at the moment he's just got to distract. He really doesn't have to do any damage. As long as he doesn't go down, they're sweet. So at the moment these heavies here sitting around not really doing much, trying to get shots on their Raven but really not having any effect. Looks like they're going to send the Hellbringer around to get the cap back. Meanwhile, we've got the Hellbringer and King Crab working on getting their way up this hill. It looks like from this position that this Hellbringer should have shots on the armed assaults at if he crests. Now he would be wise to hold his fire here, just so that Armed don't have a clue what's happening. But it looks like he has been spotted. Some fire there being exchanged by that Stalker, so given that they've seen that Hellbringer now, the jig may be up. We've seen here Armed getting the cap back. They've taken it, they've neutralised it, they're just working on getting it in their favour, which has now happened. Raven's still copping a little bit fire, but at the moment no damage. Still on 98%. Both all the arm mechs still looking quite good as well. Now having to split their attention. They can see that they've got mechs to deal with up high, but they've also got this Raven. So they're going to have to choose very quickly on what they're going to do, whether they're going to reposition or whether they're going to try and hold the current. Now fully capped Theta, they're bugging out. Raven looks like he's going to go back, try and get it back for AIEL. That could be a dangerous move because still have the dominant position in terms of Theta. That Hellbringer all the way at the top of Everest, getting some nice shots down the valley on the armed heavies there. At the moment the damage is looking relatively even. No one's really taking any significant damage, or mechs are still above 90%. Though that Hellbringer is starting to get a bit more focused. The Raven edging ever closer to cap. It's probably going to try and push it soon. And the armed mechs are going to be too preoccupied, I imagine, with the rest of AIEL's force to do much about it. do still have a stalker overlooking it though, but every time he looks that way, AIEL poke him in the side from the top of Erisea. And that Raven going straight back to Cap. He's copped a fair bit of damage now, down below 80%, but he's got some good shielding behind the Cap. It's now going to be up to the armed heavies to deal with that light, while the rest of assaults try and stop this push here from AIEL. Getting that direwolf from King Crab into range is going to be paramount for AIEL to be able to bring this game back. However, we're still giving covering fire. That light really in trouble now, down to 70%. But those assaults are closing quite quickly very soon. It's going to be a very different fight, and those mid-range AC5 builds are going to have the upper hand. But it looks like that Raven has indeed gone down. King Crab and AIEL. Not really got much to shoot at this second. Looks like they are going to reposition. So ARM now holding the Cap quite convincingly. Their mechs have taken a reasonable beating. Still in relatively good shape. Assault's still doing well. Enemy Hellbringer looking okay still. 100% health still on the King Crab for AIEL. And that Direwolf has copped a bit of beating as well. Yep, so Stalker's all good. Battlemaster's all good. Jaeger's looking pretty good. And the Hellbringer, he's caught in the back, but as long as he keeps his face against AIEL, he should be right. With AIEL, King Crab, as we said, pristine. Direwolf, still looking fine. And Hellbringer, he's actually caught CT, so he's not looking too fresh actually. AIEL here continuing to close. And they're really starting to put some big damage numbers down. That Battlemaster copping a massive beating. We're really going to have to try and reposition and take that Direwolf out quickly, otherwise that Battlemaster is going to be dead very shortly.
New target acquired.
It's wide open. That Battlemaster shuts down. Very lucky that he CT.
Critical damage.
There we go. The side torso off that Direwolf, and the Direwolf goes down. So now they've got the King Crab still to deal with. The Hellbringer is starting to move in. Jaeger mech still fresh.
Critical.
Hellbringer is still right. Let's see if we can get a bit closer to the action. Right, he's overheated, which is unfortunate for armed. So it looks like we've got the Stalker still up, the Jaeger still up there, relatively fresh. The King Crab, he's lost half his weapons, he's still got 2 of the Ultras though. Jaeger, getting some good shots on that Hellbringer still. It's really just going to be how they deal with this King Crab. They still hold Cap though, so they've really only got 2 minutes to wait. So it's unlikely that AIEL are going to be able to get the Cap turned in enough time to be able to win on Cap points. Backed all the way off, and they're really just waiting to see what AIEL are going to respond with. It looks like AIEL are going to go Cap, so it would be advantageous for armed here to try and get a spot overlooking Cap, and that does indeed look like what they're going to do. So let's just try and see if we can get onto that King Crab. Here we go. So he's stepping onto Cap. Is he going to be vulnerable to mech? Unfortunately, at this point,
heat level critical damage.
CT, Stalker's almost lost his left torso. Now this Jaeger should only have to make 1 shot on that King Crab to take him out, but he takes the Hellbringer out instead. He was caught though, so that was a nice shot there. Now 1 more shot should do it for that King Crab. King Crab using the cover of Theta there, try and block the shots. He's doing a good job of it so far. Both sides. Unfortunately, the crossfire is what got him in the end. Very, very different strategy there from AIEL, not something that we've seen in any of the Alpine games before. Taking that long walk around Everest, getting up in the flanking position. Very good technique, very good strategy. Unfortunately, didn't work out for him in the end. And look at the damage numbers there. Halbringer from AIEL doing a lot of work, and that Stalker from ARM just seems to have carried them through that game. It looks like. Okay, that concludes the games for week 4 of Battle for Midway. So we have a 5-0 victory to Armed.